Hello everyone, Kakajon here, and I am back with another Fuuto PI episode review. So, this time we're talking about episode 6. This episode starts off the same way the last one ended, of course, with Philip transforming the Fangs Joker, and we get to see him fight Mihara. During this fight, Philip almost goes berserk, actually, but Shotaro tells him to chill out, and thankfully he doesn't go berserk. Now, so, the Fang Joker, well, at least the Fang part, is a berserker form, I'm pretty sure. So, when it debuted in the show, it made Philip go berserk, and it was a berserker form. But I think over time he learned to control it. He doesn't have 100% control over it, or at least there's times where he might slip up. But as long as Shotaro has his back, I think he's fine. Philip actually deduced that Mihara is using a bunch of tiny wings on the side of his body to create that field of gravity that they use during their fight. And Philip uses his shoulder fang attack, which is kind of like a boomerang, to cut off half of those wings. I'm pretty sure he only cuts off half, he doesn't cut off all of them, so that he can't use that gravity field anymore, which basically means that they're able to win the fight. What happens next when Philip uses the Fang Maximum Drive to finally finish off Mihara once and for all. So thank God he defeated, at least. He was very petty, basically. Kind of a dickhead guy. So glad he's gone. Then the Mega Newer memory breaks and Mihara's eyes roll back, which is kind of weird. It seems like he died here, but we know that he doesn't. Spoiler, he does die just later on. I don't really feel bad at all, though. He's a scumbag, okay? I don't feel anything for this guy. And then once the fight is done on their end, Philip calls Rui or Axel, and we get to see Axel in suit standing over a bunch of dead dragonflies, sort of staring at the moon. But unfortunately, we don't get to see the henshin sequence, so it kind of sucks. At least we get to see the suit. I mean, we already saw it technically in his other forms, but we get to see it outside of the opening. So close to seeing him fight, or I think he did move a little bit. It's not a static frame there, but so close. Maybe soon we'll get to see his henshin sequence. I hope. In the end, Tokime and Philip were able to protect Megu from Mihara, so they both did their job very well, and they definitely tried their best, even making up with each other along the way. So very good arc for both of them. Definitely my favorite arc so far, out of the two, I guess, or cases, whatever, arc cases, whatever. But very good. I like this one. So after they defeated Mihara, they go back to the game studio or whatever, and MyDP is there waiting for them, and he says that he's glad that Megu's okay, and he's glad that she's back. So this makes me feel like he maybe isn't such a bad person, and I feel bad because these last few videos I've been like, this guy's kind of suspicious. I don't know if he's doing stuff, but he's kind of suspicious. But turns out he really isn't. So I'm sorry, man. Talking, we see a clip of Terui arresting the lady. I don't even remember her name. It doesn't even matter. Who is leaking the information about Megu. So that's good because she definitely deserves to be in jail for that. Literally endangering one of her coworkers' lives because she's jealous. So yeah, you should definitely be in jail for that. So it turns out that the company executives were actually the shady ones the whole time, basically. They didn't care about Megu at all, and only saw her as a way to make more money because she's such a popular character and cosplayer and stuff. And MyGP was actually sticking up for Megu the whole time. So I was very wrong about him. But the way, I feel like the way they did it, they made it seem like he was gonna be shady, and then they turned it around and said he wasn't. So got into an argument with the executives, and is now gonna have to leave the company because of that. That argument is why his hands were bloody that one time when Tokime saw him, and it's because he punched a monitor out of frustration. So at least he didn't punch somebody, but he did punch a monitor, and that's why his hands were bloody. So if they made it seem like he was gonna be shady, but he actually wasn't. He was just trying to help her, and so that's great. I'm glad everything worked out well for them. So of course, like last episode, I gotta mention the fan service from Tokime. Now, it's her changing, but because obviously her clothes got wrecked. I guess it's there to show that Shitaro cares about Tokime, at least somewhat, because he's the one that bought her the outfit. So I guess it is there to show that sort of character moment. But it also is fan service. Let's be real. So in this moment, after she changes, everyone sort of like accepts her on the team fully. Even the memory gadgets accept her to the team, and then she whips out that like book that Aki gave to her, and she names all of the gadgets, which is great because I don't even know their names. So I'm gonna list them out in the order she said them, and I'll put the picture on the screen. So we have Frog Pod, Stag Phone, which we know, and it wasn't Beetle Phone, it was Stag Phone. I think I said it wrong earlier, my bad. We have Spider Shock, we have Den Den Sensor, and we have Bat Shot. So those are all of the memory gadgets that W uses. Hopefully these get used in future episodes, so I have a reason for putting that entire list in this video and a reason to remember their names, because otherwise I am not gonna names at all. Because they're basically like, they're useful, but like they're not memorable, basically, at least for me. Philip reveals what he's been working on in like the lab the whole time, and it's actually a new Stag phone. So he's been working on a pink colored Stag phone with Tokime's name on it, so it's obviously for her, because, you know, she doesn't have any way of contacting anyone else, so he made her a phone so he could contact Shitaro and Akiko. It's her own Stag phone. No memory though. I don't know if they use a memory or not, but there wasn't any memory, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see it later on, but she gets her own Stag phone, which is pretty cool. See, Megu and Maji P both left their old company because Megu didn't want to be there without, you know, Maji P, because they basically started and made the whole game together, whole company, so they could start their own game company basically. And I feel like this happens all the time in real life, in like the gaming world. And I feel like the biggest example, I think, is what happened with Kojima and Konami, where Kojima had a falling out with Konami and basically started his own company, and, you know, all that stuff, like PT, all that stuff. I'm sure everyone knows it. If you don't, you should look it up. It's very unfortunate, but it's quite interesting though. So I'm just glad we get to see a happy ending for them, because after all this, they definitely deserve it. If the last episode ended with good guys, this episode ended with bad guys. So we see Yukiji visiting Mihara in the hospital, and he basically just roasts them. He's like, "You're not gonna be allowed in the city. You're trashed." Like all this kind of stuff, basically. Then he transforms into the Aurora Dopant, and then basically kills Mihara. So, like I said, he does die, just not from the memory breaking, like I thought. And he dies so bad, he is just bones. Like he killed him so bad, he basically fossilized him on that hospital bed. So that means he has a lot of power. So I don't know, man. They're saying that Mihara can't go back to the city. Yukiji does go back to the city because of course he can. I mean, it's probably his city. So once he goes back, we actually get to see a lot more Dopant. Well, it's more like 2 Dopants from the city, which I'm guessing are sort of like his little army. So we get to see a Brachiosaurus Dopant, which honestly looks really cool. It's giant. It's got like a skull face thing. It's cool. It's sick. And we also get to see this Dopant called Scream. Not that guy, or that girl. It looks very creepy, but also looks pretty cool. And for some reason, there's a reveal where like she moves up, and then like it has like tits. So I don't know why. They didn't have to show that. That one is like weird, and there is physics to it too. It's very weird. I don't know. I feel like you monster girls or whatever, this is for you, I guess. But that's where the episode ends, basically. It ends with them being like, yeah, you guys are good at killing, but me, Yukiji, is the best at killing, so I'm gonna kill, basically. He's gonna start some stuff in these next episodes, I'm assuming. And then it ends there, so I'm assuming we'll get to see these two Dopants at some point. They're probably not Monsters of the Week, they're just probably like generals or whatever of his army. But still, very cool. Obviously the Brachio Dopant is like super big, like, so it's easier to animate than it is to do like a live action suit or like CGI nonsense. So very excited to see that. That's definitely gonna be something that they're probably gonna defeat with like the bike or something. Him and Axel are probably gonna have to defeat that because it's just so big that they're probably gonna need two people to do that. So very exciting stuff happening in Fuuto PI so far. So this is the halfway point, and so far it's been pretty good actually. One of the big things is he isn't in here a lot, which is great because I don't like him. He's like the reason why I stopped watching the original show, because he like fucked up the whole vibe of the show, and I just didn't like it. So I'm glad that he's okay in here. Now I know this is post-show, so he's probably chilled out by now, but I'm just glad everything's like fine. He doesn't bother me. No one bothers me in this show, so I think it's very good. Like I said, this is coming from the perspective of someone who hasn't read the manga, so I don't know what they're keeping in, I don't know what they're keeping out, but maybe I'll do, like, down the line, maybe I'll do, like, a manga review for Fuuto Tante, not Fuuto PI, because that's what it's called, I'm pretty sure, so we'll do that, maybe at some point, just to see the differences, I guess. Maybe I'll make a video like that, I don't know, but I'm rambling here, but that's pretty much all I have to say for the halfway point of Fuuto PI. So these next episodes will hopefully come out on time now. So I will see you guys in the episode 7 review, which should be coming out sometime next week, hopefully. So I will see you guys in the next episode.